Krishna, dear devotees, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada and all glories to Guru and Gauranga. I have no qualification to speak on this subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Still, whatever I could speak just for my purification and realize my weaknesses in the sadhana. And also, whatever I speak is just the mercy of my Guru Maharaj and Srila Prabhupada and other acharyas who spoke before on this subject matter of Srimad Bhagavatam. Okay, I seek blessings of all the assembled Vaishnavas and Guru Maharaj, Srila Prabhupada, and our deity Sri Srinitya Gaur Chandra, so I can speak something beneficial and also which brings in some transformation for me. Okay, let's recite the prayers. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Ena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunadhanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Rindavaneshwari Rishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhaktarinda Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Bhagavatam prayers. Narayanam Namaskrityam Naranchaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayam Udirayet Nashtaprayeshu Abhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavati Uttamasloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtakim. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Okay, we are reading from Canto 3, Chapter 22, titled Marriage Ceremony between Kardamuni and Devahuti, text 14. Okay, let's recite the verse. Ham tam shrinvan vidvan vivahartam samudyatam atastvam upakurvana pratam pratigrihana me. Synonyms. Aham, I. Tva, you. Ashrinvanam, heard. Vidwan, O wise man. Vivahartam, for the sake of marriage. Samudyatam, prepared. Atah, hence. Tvam, you. Upakurvana, not taken a vow of perpetual celibacy. Pratam, offered. Pratigrihaname, please accept. May, of me. Translation. Swayambhu Manu continued, O wise man, I heard that you were prepared to marry. Please accept her hand, which is being offered to you by me, since you have not taken a vow of perpetual celibacy. Purport. Purport by His Divine Grace, Abhay Charanaranda Bhakti Vedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The principle of brahmacharya is celibacy. There are two kinds of brahmacharis. One is called Naistika brahmachari, which means one who takes a vow of celibacy for his whole life, whereas the other, the Upakurvana brahmachari, is a brahmachari who takes the vow of celibacy up to a certain age. For example, he may take the vow to remain celibate up to 25 years of age. Then, within the permission of his spiritual master, he enters into married life. Brahmacharya is student life, the beginning of life in the spiritual orders. And the principle of brahmacharya is celibacy. Only a householder can indulge in sense gratification or sex life, not a brahmachari. Swayambhu Manu requested Kardama Muni to accept his daughter since Kardama had not taken the vow of Naistika Brahmacharya. He was willing to marry, and the suitable daughter of a high royal family was presented. So, just to bring in the context, and besides, I didn't had like too much to speak on this particular verse, so I'll just bring in summary like until now what happened, and then we can discuss on this particular verse. In the last chapter, Vidura asked Maitreya Rishi to explain more about the dynasty of Swayambhu Manu, and especially he was asked about his daughter Devahuti and her marriage to Kardama Muni, and how the progeny or how many children are there, their progeny between both of them. So, and then Maitreya Muni started explaining, he mentioned that Kardama Muni was doing tapasya for 10,000 years, and 10,000 years from the instructions given by Brahma. After 10,000 years of tapasya, Lord in the form of four-hand form Vishnu appeared in front of him. And upon seeing him, Kardama Muni offered his prayers. And as part of the prayers, one is said, less intelligent men worship you for material things, and he said he desired for a suitable wife. And the next prayer was material desires lead to bondage, but surrendering to the Lord leads to the liberation. And also devotees are not affected by any of these things since they're surrendered to the Lord. And material world was created for jiva's enjoyment and to realize the Lord and develop detachment to get the liberation. And upon hearing from Kardama Muni, so Lord started speaking. And Lord also says, my devotees' desires are never frustrated. And Manu, and then he said, Swayambhu Manu will offer his daughter to you as your wife. And also he said, his children's, he said, he'll get 9 daughters, and then Lord himself will take birth as Kardama Muni's son. And after all the things, he finally attained me. So after speaking, the Lord disappeared, and Kardama Muni continued his austerities on the banks of Bin Sarovar, where he was doing the tapasya for the right time, waiting for the right time. and mentioned by Lord, like when, and towards the end of his austerities, when he's completed, Swayambhu Manu reached his hermitage along with his wife and daughter Devahuti. And so by seeing the king, Kardumani received him and offered them the seat, and then he glorified him and inquires uh, for the king's visit to his ashram. The conversation between Kardamuni and Swayambhavu continues, and during the conversation, so Swayambhavu glorifies Kardamuni and explains the reasons why he would like to offer his daughter for the marriage. And first, he explains like she is from the great dynasty, and the next one is she is fixed her mind on marrying Kadam Muni after hearing about Kadam Muni from Narada. So so, and coming to this text, like until now, that's what happened. And in this text, that's where like Swayambhav Manu mentioning to Kadamuni that you achieved your perfection and you decided to give up your brahmacharya, and then you want to get married. So please accept my daughter as she is qualified. So in the purport, Prabhupada was mentioning, like he was explaining different types of brahmacharya, and also he was talking about celibacy is the main principle of brahmacharya, like which is staying away from sex life. So the two types of brahmacharya, one is like Naistika brahmachari, like who accepted the celibacy for their whole life. And the second one is Upakarvana brahmachari, who accepts celibacy for certain age of life, and they enter into the grihastha with the permission from the spiritual master. So, and also Srila Prabhupada was explaining, so in the Upakurvana brahmachari, generally it could be like around 25 years of age or so. And and I think my thoughts were going on here, like in the 25 years of age, like even the current modern age for us, like means when the children was born, to get to the college and getting into the to get into the job and all, like it's approximately around that time. So, and it's so important to follow the syllabus during that age. So in order to concentrate on their studies, or like to achieve like what they would like to achieve in their uh, life to get to that age. So yeah, I'm my thoughts are again like means in the Srimad Bhagavatam it is mentioned celibacy as the main principle uh, during the ancient times. I'm guessing the sex life would be one of the highest distractions for anyone to achieve their things. But to consider for our modern age, so I'm guessing like austerities from restraining enjoyment from many of the distractions which are available in this world for us. would be very important to succeed in achieving their goals. So I was just uh, remembering one of my discussions some 6, 7 years back, uh, when when my son was graduating from high school. So we were thinking of moving back to India. So that time, so I was considering that maybe if we could get into IIT, yeah, and we can move back to India. So for his college. But then I was talking to one of my god brothers who was graduate from IIT, and I was asking him about trips, or like how to approach, or how we can get it. Like the first thought he shared with me was like, means it is getting into IIT is an austerity, and first thing has to be like priority is to be given to the studies, and everything else has to be next thing. So he said it's a big austerity, like no sense enjoyment, like especially just concentrate on the preparation and all those things. So yeah, it does true. Like, I mean, if I look at it, like means IIT is a premium college in India, and like really thousands of students write those entrance exam to get into the IIT, but only very limited set who can get in. So who are so that's one thing, and also the same thing like to during the ancient times, uh, kings sends their children or sons, especially the princes, to the Gurukula during their young age to learn their skills. Though their affordable to bring the teachers to their kingdom to teach their children, but in order to teach them the austerities and regulating the children from the other enjoyments, they used to send their children to Gurukula, so where the princes used to follow like very regulated life. That's one of the reasons, like austerities are very important uh, uh, for us. Basically, austerities help us control our impulse sense enjoyment, also will help us bring in regulation to our life. So just to conclude, as a spiritual sadhakas, it's very important for us to practice austerity, regulating ourselves from so many distractions which are available in the current age in the form of many things like movies or social media or cell phone, internet, so many things compared to ancient times. So for us, like it's, at least for me, I'm thinking that it's very important to regulate the use of those entertainment things which are available in order to progress more in the spiritual life. With that, I'll conclude. And please forgive me if I spoke anything incorrectly, or it's nothing related to the subject. And I would appreciate others to share their thoughts on this topic. Thank you.
Hare Krishna Prabhuji, please accept my humble obeisances. All glories to Srila Prabhupada. Prabhuji, nice talk. You covered a lot of topics, So when you were talking about how Swayambhu Manu was offering his daughter to Kardama Muni, and this is for wedlock, I was just wondering, I was comparing how a devotee of the Lord, works with other devotees of the Lord, and they all, help in the service of the Lord. Whereas the contrast is, like somebody like Indra. Indra is obviously not one person. Multiple Indras.
Mhm.
How he would actually send, Apsaras to destroy the austerities of various sages, or even what do you say, kings, for the simple reason that they may usurp his throne.
Right.
So that was one contrast. And then, these apsaras would also, like maybe it is their duty to follow the orders of their king, so they follow it. But there were a few occasions, like Menaka and others, who would not completely follow the orders, but would stay back and, also have children and live with,
Mm.
whoever the person is.
Yeah.
So just wanting to draw the contrast, few words from you. Thank you, Prabhuji.
I, frankly speaking, Prabhu, I was also thinking the same lines. Like, miss, I thought like mainly I was thinking about Vishwamitra, how many times Indra sent the Apsarasas to distract his austerity because he was worried about his throne. And we know that, like, I think at least a couple of times he was distracted by them, but later he did curse them, like after realizing the fact that okay, these are all the things. Uh, so yeah, as I mentioned, like I feel like even Prabhupada was mentioning, like, means I guess like sex life is the highest enjoyment which can distract anyone from their goals, achieving their goals. So it is very critical uh, for to restrain oneself. But especially in the current modern age, I think in Prabhupada was mentioned in some lectures or somewhere, like I was hearing from my Guru Maharaj, he was saying that it's for anyone, like basically the opposite sex, like one has to achieve something, means like to be very careful dealing with the opposite sex. And also he was mentioning, I'm guessing it's part of the Srimad Bhagavatam, even when a student stays in Gurukula, if the teacher's wife is young and the student should deny the services, uh, the personal services from the wife, even though Guru's wife is considered as a mother, but still it's suggested to stay away from the opposite sex. So like means it can distract anyone. So those are the thoughts which broke me. It is very important, I think, to achieve the goals, to stay away from the sex life, means maintaining celibacy.
Yeah, Prabhuji, that's
I
a
don't
good
know if it
point.
leads, but
Mhm.
answers your question, but yeah.
Yeah, yeah. So it does, Prabhuji. In a way, it's more a discussion than a question. So if you remember, I think Shukracharya had Nala or somebody else as his uh, Sishya, and his daughter Sharmishta fell in love with him, and then so many things happened, including like I'm forgetting the stories, but uh, so that there also is an example of how we should be with careful, even being in the what do you call Gurukul, because yeah, now I remember the gods. I don't know if it is Brihaspati's son or somebody who is sent into Shukracharya's ashrama, where he will have to learn the what do you call Sanjeevani mantra. So he goes
Yes.
there. While he's learning it, he actually falls in love with Sharmishta, and
Right.
but the demons understand his purpose, so they kill him. But then Sharmishta goes and pleads with Shukracharya. He brings him back to life, and then he continues teaching, because as a teacher, he continues his duty of teaching. It doesn't matter, if he's going to use it
Yeah.
against them or for them. So yeah, that's the one, Prabhuji. Go ahead, Prabhuji.
Thank you. Okay, if any others have any thoughts to share, they could share. Otherwise, we can conclude the call. Okay, Lakshmikant Prabhu. So, will you conclude the call?
Mr. Prabhu, thank you so much.
Thank you, Prabhu. Hare Krishna. Vanchakalpatarubhyascha kripa sindhubhyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo namaha. Krishna devotees, happy Krishna consciousness.